Hi, I'm Judy Jean Kwon, creator, writer, and happen to star in MILFriend. That's Mother I Like to Friend. Get your head out of the gutter because it's not what you were thinking. What up? So I started writing this because I got fucking fed up. I was fed up with how as an Asian American you were being pegged into a hole, and also I got fed up with not being able to tell my story and just being a sideline to somebody else's story. I'm from K-Town, LA. I grew up Los Angeles, so Los Angeles is Los Angeles, or I don't know, my accent is pretty bad, but that's Spanish for like the city of angels, right? There's a lot of stories that could be told here. I have a lot of great friends that were Chicana and Chicanos, and you know, growing up in K-Town, there's a lot of diversity there. And I'm a daughter of immigrant parents, and I guess I'm 2.5 because my mom was born and raised here and served in the US Army, bitch. And then my dad was Korean from like Korea, like 안녕하세요, like that shit, you know what I mean? They didn't have a very good marriage, so my grandmother ended up raising me. Which oh, what is that noise? Somebody's doing construction. Which, you know what? It's different from being raised by a mom because you don't have that same mother-daughter bond. And on top of it, my grandma was like 1920s Korean, like from the 시골. So that's a long story. But anyway, growing up here in America with my grandmother as my mother and my dad was freaking crazy. What are you pointing at?
You're looking down a lot.
Okay, I'm looking down.
Yeah.
We have lots of fucking stories to tell. We got shit ton of fucking stories to tell. And I just keep hearing the same stories over and over and over again in Hollywood. I'm like, what up? You know, we got stories. And also, like, I think this project and a lot of my projects has to do with displacement, with not fitting in and not belonging. And I feel like as an immigrant that a lot of us are made to feel like we don't belong here. But this is also our country. I'm an American, and I want to tell stories of those that are voiceless. Because my grandmother, towards the end of her life, she had a stroke and lost the ability to talk. So she couldn't tell me any of her stories because my grandmother never talked about her past because it was painful. She went through the Korean War, she went through the Japanese occupation, she went through a lot of pain in her life. So she never talked about it. But I think like towards the end of her life, she really wanted to tell me about her life. But right when she was getting ready to tell me about her life, she had the stroke and she lost her voice. So fuck that. You know what? I'm not keeping my mouth shut anymore. I'm fucking talking, bitches.